Hello, Redude here for life. You're bringing guys a brand new video today, and today we have a bunch of new card reveals that I need to real talk about. So, some stuff to catch up on that I missed earlier, because I've been very busy, haven't been able to really record much, and it would have it that on the day that I finally get some free time, we get some new God card support revealed, and oh boy, I am happy to see this. This is really cool stuff. The God cards need a lot of really good support, and I think they got it here for the most part. They still need like full-on archetypal support, kind of like what Ra recently got. I'd love to see Obelisk and Slifer get the same treatment, but who knows if that's ever going to happen. And then we also got a random piece of Relinquish support here, which is really cool. But anyway, so let's start off with Thunder Force Attack, Quick Play spell card. You can only fit one card to this card's name per turn. This card's activation and effect cannot be negated. That's on the first two of these cards. It'd be silly if it's on this card, but yeah, this card cannot be negated at all. It's basically a spell speed 4. If you control a monster whose original name is Slifer the Sky Dragon, destroy as many face-up monsters your opponent currently controls as possible. Then, if this card was activated during your main phase, you can draw cards equal to the number of monsters destroyed and sent to your opponent's graveyard. But you can only attack with one monster this turn. So, this is really stupid. This is obviously, this is for Slifer focused like decks and stuff like that, and it's really good. Probably at the end of the day, I see that like most people are saying, oh, Slifer got the best thing, and I would agree. So Slifer definitely has the best piece of support here. It's absolutely fantastic. It's basically his own effect jacked up to 11. If you guys don't remember, Slifer, basically every time your opponent summons a monster, it drops by 2,000 defense, and if it hits 0 because of that, it dies like automatically. But however, this is basically a quick play spell version of that also lets you draw cards and does it right away. I love it. This is such a good card. Who cares if you can only attack with one monster when that monster has over 10,000 attack? Next up, we got the Fist of Fate. Oh my god, I just love all this artwork. It's so good. It looks like it's straight out of the original manga and everything, which I really need to get around to reading. I bought the first omnibus and I haven't read it yet. So you can only activate one card to this card's name per turn. This card's activation effect cannot be negated. Standard stuff as with the first one. Quick play spell card as well. If you control a monster whose original name is Obelisk the Tormentor, negate the effects of one effect monster your opponent controls. And if you do, destroy it. And if you do that, for the rest of this turn, its effects are negated, as well as the activated effects and effects on the field of monsters with the same original name. Then, if this card is activated during your main phase, you can destroy all spell trap cards your opponent controls. And of course, Obelisk can nuke your opponent's monster line. Not that that's really all that great, because he can't attack, if I remember right. But, however, the fact that you can now nuke your opponent's back row, as well as also effectively prevent them from activating a monster effect anywhere for the rest of the turn by destroying a said monster, this is really good as well, and I love it. Now we just need a way to search out these cards. There's not really any good way to do so, which is still the sad thing about trying to build a god deck. Then we got Exchanging Souls, which probably has my second favorite artwork here of the three. My really favorite is good old Thunder Force Attack. I love Slifer. He's my favorite god card, and I'm so glad he's getting some cards for him. Seems like Ra gets all the love from Konami. So Exchanging Souls, quick play spell card. You can only activate one card of this card's name per turn. During the main phase, immediately after this effect resolves, tribute summon one Divine Beast monster. When you do, you can also tribute monsters your opponent controls as if you controlled them, but you can only activate one card or effect other than the Divine Beast monster's effects until the end of the next turn. So, this is basically Soul Exchange. They even just switched the names around. It's basically just Soul Exchange, but on steroids, where you can tribute 3 monsters instead of 1. You can do it during your opponent's turn because it's a quick play spell card, which means you can basically kaiju your opponent on their turn. And also on top of that, I mean, sure, it's got the really annoying restriction that you can only activate one card or effect, but hey, that doesn't count the Divine Beast monster's effects, so every time, freaking Cypher triggers, you don't have to worry about that. But overall, this is a really good card as well. I think like this would be a 3 of in any God card deck at the moment now. Then we got Golden Idol, and this is where like the thing kind of breaks for a minute because this is actually relinquish support, which is cool. Just a bit weird that they announced it alongside all this, you know, God card support. So Golden Idol, Dark Spellcaster effect monster, level 1/0/0. You can only use this card's second effect once per turn. First effect once per turn as a quick effect. You can look at your opponent's hand. Also, this card's name becomes Thousand Eyes Idol until the end phase. I really like this just for that right off the bat. Okay, one of my biggest annoyances playing Relinquished right now is that there's no way to summon Thousand Eyes Restrict without either playing the original Thousand Eyes Idol or playing King of the Swamp. And it's very, very annoying. I don't like that, okay? So having an archetypal way to do it now is really cool. I just wish he was always traded as Thousand Eyes Idol. Like in the graveyard, so you can actually, you know, fuse with Relinquish Fusion. If I remember right, it can fuse from graveyard, right? It's been a while since I've read it. If this card is banished or sent to the graveyard by card effect, you can target one effect monster your opponent controls, equip it to one of your relinquished monsters or Eyes Restrict monsters that cannot be normal summoned or set. Now that right there makes me intrigued, because so far we don't have any relinquished or Eyes Restrict monsters that can be normal summoned or set. They're all fusion or you know, link monsters. So like, what's up with that? While that monster is equipped with this by this effect, the monster it is equipped to gains attack equal to the equipped monsters. So yeah, it's a standard, you know, oh yeah, or ritual, I forgot. So ritual, fusion, or a, you know, link. So yeah, this is pretty good overall. It's basically giving you the same effect as Relinquish, but in a graveyard. So really good card all around. I like it. And then we got some general reprints. These are all coming out in something called the God Box over in Japan. Who knows when we're going to get these cards. Probably going to be like promotional things in like a Mega 10 if I had to take a guess. Then let's talk about Selection 10. This is basically a replacement for Link Frames, which is pretty cool. Interestingly enough, though, everything's only getting like 1 to 2 cards, with the exception of the 2 new archetypes, the Sun Avalon, and then what the heck is this archetype? Which will be getting, well, of course, probably about 10 cards. I think that's about how many Sun Avalon got. So, yeah, it's 10 archetypes, and so far, let's see here. We got Vampire, more than likely, Laval, Dragoonity, I think, yeah, Dragoonity, and then Necroz, Shadal, Cypher, well, Galaxy Eyes, Cypher, whichever one you want to call it, Fairy Tail, which is such a weird pick, but okay. Time Thief, Sun Avalon, and then whatever this archetype is. Now, this is supposed to be the game original archetype, because they did say that one was an anime archetype and one was a game original. People are speculating that this could be a Seiryu, I cannot pronounce that for the life of me, archetype, which would be interesting to say the least. And if you don't remember what Seiryu is, let's see if I can pull him up. Let's see here. Oh, there he is. Yeah. So this thing is a level 7 light dragon monster, and the reason why people are saying it might be it is because it kind of looks similar, like in the like facial appearance here, and also of course the feathers. Now you might be saying, well, why would people care about this card? Because it's such a random card. I think it's from LLB. Well, you might have heard of Seiryu's mirror, Serpent Night Dragon. Serpent Night Dragon and Seiryu are supposed to be mirrors of each other, and are basically just the opposites. I mean, like, seriously, they are super close in stats and everything. One's a dark dragon, one's a white dragon. Interesting enough, it's hard to tell, but Seiryu looks like a blue-eyed pink dragon, and Serpent Night Dragon is a red-eyed black dragon. Just something really fun to note there. This is a possibility. Personally, I'd love Serpent Night Dragon to get like an archetype, because he's my favorite of the two. Because, well, he actually showed up in the anime. I don't remember Seiryu appearing anywhere, so I don't know. It might be him, it might not. We'll have to wait and see. That being said, though, we do have 10, I think, no, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we have a bunch of new cards announced. So let's go ahead and talk about Hieratic Heavenly Dragon, Overlord of Heliopolis. This is really, really cool here. I've been seeing a lot of people trash talk the card, and I don't really get why. First and foremost, beautiful artwork. I love it. So he's a rank 8 Dragon Xyz effect monster, 3k attack, 2400 defense, 2 level 8 monsters, super generic. Once per turn, when your opponent activates a card or effect that targets a card amongst your cards on the field, in your graveyard, and or banished, quick effect, you can detach one material from this card, negate the activation, and if you do, destroy that target. Now, this is really weird support for Hieratics. They already have a pretty good rank 8 for what they want to do. Let's see here. Hieratic. It's been a while since I've looked at Hieratics. There we go. So, Hieratic Sun Dragon, Overlord of Heliopolis. Let's see here. Once per turn, you can detach one Xyz material from this card, tribute any number of monsters from your hand or your side of the field, minimum 1, then destroy an equal number of cards on the field. Honestly, what they really should have done with this card is make basically this, but a quick effect. It is nice that they gave them another Xyz, because it's kind of weird being an Xyz-based archetype. They only had 2 for the longest time. But, however, I mean, like, they're both pretty decent for what the deck wants to do. If you don't know what Hieratics do, they're all about tributing and get bonus effects when tributed and stuff like that. So, the fact that this does nothing for Hieratics is weird. I really wish it did something for them, like have an effect where, like, maybe you can tribute a dragon, a special summon a dragon from your graveyard or something like that. That would be pretty cool. But instead, all they did was give them a negation from targeting, which I like. Targeting effects are actually pretty common for the most part and can help you out in a pinch. The issue here is that it doesn't do anything else. So I don't think this card is as bad as people are saying, but I don't think it's particularly great either. It just is okay. That's all I really gotta say. Then we got Hieratic Seal of Creation, normal spell card. You can only use either this card's first or second effect once per turn, and only once that turn. Target one Dragon Xyz monster you control. Spell summon from your X deck one Hieratic Xyz monster of a different original name than the monster you control by using it as material. This is treated as a Xyz summon, transfer its materials to the summoned monster. You can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one Hieratic monster in your graveyard, special summon it in defense position. This is a really good card for Hieratics in general. I mean, one of the big reasons why Heliopolis, the original, didn't see much play back in the day is because the deck really doesn't have any good level 8s. Like, you generally don't want to summon this, and then their actual, like, the other one, like, is just, yeah, it's not good. Why is it a Gemini? God. So, yeah, it's just, they never had that, they never really had a lot of, it wasn't optimal. That's what I'm looking for. It wasn't optimal. Like, the few people who did would play like stuff like Blue Eyes, and then, oh, you would brick with them. So, it wasn't the greatest thing in the world. So, being able to like turn your Atom into Heliopolis is really cool. Or, even better yet, turn any Dragon XYZ monster into Atom, which is scary, because Dragon Link's gonna abuse this card. So, Hieratic Dragon King of Atom, 2 level 6 dragon monsters, for those who don't know. This card was like the king of Hieratics back in the day, especially like what made Hieratics good. Once per turn, you can detach one material from this card. Special summon one dragon monster from your deck, but make its attack and defense 0. This card cannot attack the turn you activate this effect. Big whoop. You can summon any dragon from your deck, make its attack and defense 0, but its effects are still fine. So back when Red MD still had his effect, like not once per turn, people would summon Red MD off of this, get the special summon off of Red MD, and then they would basically send Red MD to the graveyard or get him back to the hand somehow. People would play like Zephyros for that and stuff like that. And then you reuse Red MD just over and over and over. It was ridiculous. I had to play in that format. It was very, very annoying. Thank God they put a once per turn clause on Red MD, but this could be bad. Well, it's going to be good for Dragon Link, annoying for everybody else, to put it simply. And then, of course, you got the just generic, hey, I'm going to bring back any Hieratics, so if your Atom dies or you link it off, you can bring it back for more free material next turn. Heavenly Spheres is getting a reprint, which is pretty cool. And then we got Necros of Arid Bahar. I can't pronounce it. Anyway, so we finally got a Necros that's based on a Dragoonity monster, which is pretty cool. He's a level 10 Water Warrior Ritual Effect monster, 3300 attack, 3200 defense. You can Ritual Summon this card using any Necros Ritual spell card. Must be Ritual Summoned without using any level 10 monsters. You can only use this card's name's first and second effects once per turn. You can discard this card, tribute up to 2 Necros monsters from your hand and or field, and if you do, send the same number of Necros cards from your deck to your graveyard. This is pretty decent, but only in certain situations. Right off the bat, the biggest thing that you would want to be tributing is their non-ritual monsters, who all have effects when they're tributed. Like, for instance, tributing Exa to search out a Dragon-type ritual, or tributing Dance Princess to target one of your Banished Necros and add it to your hand, etc., etc. The only thing is that, at least for like people who are more meta stream that I've seen, they don't want to play any of these. They just want to play Shuret and call it a day. I hate how people won't even look at the full archetype and just write off a card right off the bat. But anyways, so if you happen to have multiples of the non-ritual dudes in your hand, this card is a godsend. Okay, like seriously, discard it. Tribute Exa, tribute like, I don't know, let's see here, Ariel, and then you get to add any of your Necros monsters that's not a ritual, and you get to add any dragon ritual, which it seems pretty good. And then Great Sorcerer, if he's tributed, you can, if he's tributed, you can add a spellcaster, so on and so forth. I just think that this card is better for that effect than people are giving credit for. I've seen a lot of people say, that's garbage. Now, what people are saying is not garbage is his second effect. Once per turn, when a monster effect is activated, as a quick effect, you contribute 1 monster from your hand or field, negate the activation. If you do, banish that target. So this thing is just a walk-in negate for monster effects for the deck, which is something that they needed. So really, this thing, it's got good utility and it's got a good effect on the field for what the archetype needed. And Embryonic and Kaleidoscope are getting reprints. And then for some reason, the Fairy Tale archetype is getting a some more support. I know somebody's going to go, they're not an archetype, they're a series. They don't have any cards in their text that list a Fairy Tale monster. I don't care, it's an archetype. Same way as the Dragon Roars are an archetype, okay? So anyways, Fairy Tale Rakta, is this Russian? Is this Russian? It's Russian, I called it. The Snow Maiden. Okay, I'm just going to call her Snow. So Fairy Tale Snow Maiden here. Level 4 light spellcaster effect monster, 1850 attack, 1000 defense. You can only use this card's first effect once per turn. When this card is normal summoned, you can have your opponent gain 500 life points, then have them look at the top 3 cards of your deck and choose one of them to add to your hand and shuffle the rest back into your deck. If this card battles before damage calculation, you can send this card to the graveyard. I don't know why you would do that, but hey, you can do that if you want. But anyways, so when this card is normal summon, it's basically a pot of, oh crap, what was it called? Duality. Pot of Duality. Pot of Duality, but however, your opponent gets to pick which card to get to add to your hand. Which, it's annoying, but hey, it's another, searcher kind of, sort of. And then we got Fairy Tale, just a spell card. It's a continuous spell card. A beautiful artwork too, by the way. I love it how it seems like all the Fairy Tale monsters are ghosts or something. Or maybe they're dreams from this girl over here who's reading them. Ooh, maybe she's the Dream Mirror girl and this is all like part of a big universal thing. I doubt it. Fairy Tale, continuous spell card. You can only use this card's first effect once per turn. You can reveal one spellcaster monster in your hand. It has 1850 attack and a different name from a face-up monsters you control. Immediately after this effect resolves, normal summon set that monster. Each turn, the first time you would take battle or effect damage while you control a spellcaster monster of 1850 original attack, you do not. These are really good cards all around. This is a pot of duality, but on normal summon, and this is just a double normal summon. Now, if you look at the Fairy Tale cards by themselves, you don't really have particularly great stuff all around. I mean, you got Sleeper, who's okay, but she's a flip effect, and also has the a weird annoyance of making it so that your opponent has to flip it face down, which is pretty cool. Rowla's okay, if I remember right. Neither player can target monsters on the field of spell cards or effects at this one. Then you can just randomly equip an equip spell to her, which I guess is okay. Now the two big ones are obviously Luna and Roxta. Luna is the best of the best. When she's normal summon, you can add a spellcaster monster of 1850 attack from your deck to your hand, and then once per turn as a quick effect, you can target a face-up monster your opponent controls. Your opponent can send one card with that monster's name from their deck or extract to the graveyard to negate this effect. Otherwise, return both this card and that monster to the hand. Now, you notice that the search effect is not once per turn, and it can even search out other copies of herself. So something you could totally do is activate Fairy Tale, use its effect to summon Luna from hand. Luna effect, search out another Luna. Luna normal summon with your actual regular normal, and then search out something else. Unfortunately, we can't play Snow because she's banned, so there's just that to keep in mind. Now, what this is really good for... Thank you for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please do consider rating, commenting, and subscribing. Sharing the video helps as well. If you especially really like it, please do consider being a channel member. Every little bit helps out. And hey, also why not check me out on my other social media pages. Thank you, and have a great day.